Pregame.com.
Another week, pregame.tv, Ken Thomson, Dave Cokin. Early Wednesday afternoon means World Series Game 7 starts in about an hour for us, Dave. And, of course, we're in the Royals blue, hoping I can break that 29-year jinx. Be nice. Hey, you got a little blue in there. Are you on the Giants?
No, I'm on nobody.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do with the game. You know, if this is a regular season game where the price is now is too high.
Yes.
And I would have taken the Giants, but you cannot handicap the postseason. I tell people this all the time, particularly guys who are hung up on value. That's great during the course of a regular season. You can't handicap the playoffs on value. So I think the Royals will win tonight, but I'm not. On the flip side, I'm not laying $1.40 to find out. I'll just be a spectator tonight, and you know, big day in baseball with the World Series Game 7, and it's not official because I don't think they want to take the shadow, the spotlight away from the World Series. But Joe Madden is about to be named manager of the Chicago Cubs.
I told Chuck that was going to happen.
You know what's going to happen in Las Vegas immediately? Future odds on the Cubs will drop. I'm saying to maybe 20 to 25 range, because there's going to be the Cubs are always a publicly supported team. And this will get them to the windows. So, the books have to make sure and lessen the liability as much as possible. So they're going to lower.
You know what else is going to happen for the 51s organization, AAA here? They always have the Cubs in here for that big league weekend. They have them here. I mean, it's always a sellout anyway, but I mean, those tickets will be gone.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, the Cubs might not be that far away. I don't think they'll be a contender immediately, but they're getting real close. And look, if they sign John Lester or James Shields, but I think Lester preferred, although somebody pointed out to me, hey, Shields and Madden, very good connection there. But if they were to pick up Lester and he replaces Edwin Jackson in the rotation, that's about 8 wins. So they're not that far away.
Oh, they're getting close. Real quick, wanted to get your take on something. Don Larson on 2 days rest pitched the only perfect game in World Series. There's another guy that on 2 days rest pitched a complete game shutout. When you and I are growing up and we're watching, 4-day rotate, four guys, down to 3 in September a lot of times if the team's in the pennant race. What has changed now? If we're medically ahead, how can guys we have a 5-man rotation and we have to have a closer set up?
The age of specialization. But beyond that, people forget that a lot of pitchers who had talent blew out their arms years ago and were never heard from again. So I'm not one of those who say, these guys aren't tough anymore.
I'm saying if you're Bochy, if you were in the position, would you think about starting Bumgarner?
That's tough. I don't. Has he ever even started on 3 days rest?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know either. I don't know.
I don't think he has. I'm pretty sure he has.
I think you got to try and get 5 innings out of Hudson,
right,
and then turn it over to Mad Bum and hope they can get it to the 9th inning with Garcia. The Royals, though, boy, they're really well rested in the bullpen now. So for Kansas City, Guthrie's assignment is just go out 4 innings. That's right. Guthrie needs to pitch 4 innings.
There you go. All right. Well, we're talking football now. College football, ACC tilt. Georgia Tech at home against Virginia. Virginia, solid defense, finds a way to lose games.
Well, that's, a lot of people were surprised when Mike London was kept on for this year. I just can't see how he's going to be back. Because, they're not having a bad season, but they've let a couple of games get away that they should have won. And it just seems like they just don't do the right thing at the end of football games. They're a good team. I have Georgia Tech and Virginia very close on my numbers. But, if you got one team that is going to probably find a way to screw it up at the end, can you really bet them in a short number? I can't. The flip side of that is Georgia Tech. Are they inflated at all off last week's blowout against Pittsburgh, which was very much influenced by the fact that Pittsburgh couldn't hold on to the football. 5 straight turnovers in the first half on 5 plays. Unbelievable. It was good for me.
Yeah, me too.
I had the points of Georgia Tech in that game, so I loved it. But this looks like another really exciting. It's not the ACC in that division is not particularly good. But the teams are all close,
right?
So the games are pretty good.
Yeah, they are. All right, this is going to be my free play. Going to go ahead and make it official. It is Georgia Tech laying 3.5 against Virginia. And as much as I love Virginia's defense, like Dave said, they find a way to screw things up. Maybe a lot of it has to do with that coaching. And Mike London probably on the way out the door at the end of the season, despite a decent campaign by the Cavaliers. Depends how they finish up. Still have a game with Florida State. If they ever pull that miracle off, he may stick around. Justin Thomas, love the way this guy runs the offense. He doesn't just run the option for Paul Johnson. He'll throw the ball. He's thrown for over 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, 3 picks. Tony Zenon, Sinyan Days. Both these guys stepped up last week. Also, Broderick Snoddy had 3 3 touchdowns, his first 3 of the season. They lost Zach Lasky, also Charles Perkins. But that's the thing that Georgia Tech recruits the most and the hardest are running backs because they like to run the football. So I'm going to look for Georgia Tech, take care of business on their home field against a Virginia team that they're solid. I expect them to stick around for a while, but I think there's too much offensive power for Georgia Tech. I expect Virginia to score, but they go back and forth with Lambert and Johns. And again, Parks still not having that type of campaign that we thought the senior would have. He's over 600 yards, but I thought this guy would be over 1,000 if he was going to have the kind of year that he should have had as he was progressing from freshman to sophomore. Took a step back last year and not doing so well this year as well. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Georgia Tech. I'm going to lay the 3.5. I think they win this game between 7 and 14 points on their home field. Going to go with the Rambling Wreck at home, Dave.
All right, should be fun. And I'm on a couple of ACC games this week as well. I'm not on that one, but I'm certainly not going to be opposite you.
There you go. All right. And also Tech. Well, Dave's got a Tech play coming up. We're not going to tell you who it is, but it's going to be our next video. When we come back, Ken Thomson, Dave Cokin, pregame.tv.